of Labour Party.
How many times are here now?
I thought you want to speak in English.
Wanda sai sun zauna kuma sai an fitar da sannan a ji a convention sannan a ce an fitar da sabon shugabanci ko da za a fitar da kiyace a kwamiti da sai idan da busi sun zauna sun ba da goyon baya yarjejeniyar ga wanda za a san a da shi ma constitution ya riga ya saboda haka wannan abubuwa ne ake mana shi na makarkashiya ko na cin mu ko kuma na sa'alu da salego mace a kasa baki ne saboda yan nasar da aka Allah ya ba Peter Obi da shi da Julius Abuja a matsayin shugabannin su mun ga jam'iyyar Labour Party saboda haka muna nan akan bakanmu na cewa ba za mu gudu ba za mu ja gaba mu masu bin doka ne wanda ya doka ne duka kuma da muke bi su babu alama wanda suka so su fari jam'iyyar da kan siyasa a tsira bin doka duk da ba sa cikin doka to za mu iya fito musu da shi.
Amen. See, if you are speaking a language I don't understand, I don't care what you are saying. I'll just say Kokari Aluala. Amen. Because immediately after that thing, right? Aha, Nigeria police. Let us go and provide security. Labour Party they fight.
You know, initially when I come and do the accident, I said to the way they sit on this side, I said, no,
the bouncers at the headquarters have been discharged.
They were like, it's a bit 20 of them.
They are up to 20.
Special forces.
They are up to 20.
The bouncers have been evacuated from the national headquarters of Labour Party. What do you want?
Abure must have heard the information and you know what to.
Now, so they be obedient. You better focus on that case as you are focusing on it. What they are going to do in the coming days. In fact, somebody said that if there's any time for Labour Party to go and see the past question, you know, those past questionnaire on how APC tried to hijack a political party and they fought back and they got their party back. But by the time they got their party back, it's like starting all over again. They have destroyed enough that they have damaged enough. Sure you get. But eventually they got their party back. Barrister, Iniebe, I can't remember how to pronounce his name again. Very lovely guy. You know, he said, if Labour Party want to survive APC with what they are about to do, they don't know how much damages they have done already. Nobody have a clue yet. Okay? With the level of money that they are already pumping, With the level of poverty in Nigeria, a lot of people, they will do that job. All they have to do is to see the and sign and form and sign some papers. And that's all they do to fight and take over Labour Party. Sure you get now. So, my own advice, anyway, call it. Let's take a quick short break.
Elections. Nigeria is now even more divided and more corroded than we thought. This is a deep honor, and any administration following the current one to urgently facilitate the process of national rearmament and national reconciliation. Potential to enhance healing for aggrieved, bereaved persons across Nigeria and to assuage youth. This must be done in sync with the imperative of national value reorientation that Nigeria requires to build a collective sense of enduring and noble values and national belonging. During the election.
Anyway, that's Obasanjo talking about how Nigeria is so divided and it's never been so divided. A lot of them are saying, oh, Nigeria is so divided, Nigeria is divided, and all of that. But again, they are just all talk, no action. So if Labour Party needs any past question on, how to fight APC from taking over your party, or, speak to Showore. It's just I don't think Showore would like to get that. We talks that we are all saying Showore join those who are like trying to drag again and everything part of backing them anywhere. These others will follow. So I don't know what to do. Because waiting APC go Labour Party move their own. It will even show on the description. You can take that from me. APC have been reacting money. That's Chimamanda, Chief Chimamanda ADICHIE'S to Joe Biden. They're now talking about how dare she, how could she fighting the president of a foreign country, right? To hold back his violation of another president of another country. How could she go like unpatriotic? It be like they did their WhatsApp meeting. That was when they decided to come public. Bayo Nonuga for Food Kayode, the other one for Tobuke Yamo, Deli Alakori, and the rest of them. They have been fuming. And they said Joe Biden should not listen to him. But remember that they said, well, who cares if Joe Biden congratulates Tinubu or not? We don't give a damn about whether he congratulates him or not. Tinubu is the president-elect, and that's it. Whether they want it or not, it's going to be sworn in. Can you get? So, forgetting that they were actually those who once said it's been taking too long for Joe Biden, he should have called and congratulated Tifnumbu. For Food Kayode even said, Joe, pick up that phone now and call and congratulate Tinubu as the president-elect of the most populous black nation on earth, the economy in Africa, the biggest blah, 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 Now, the validation they are talking about, they said, for Tifnumbu, for Obi, call Tifnumbu drug dealer. And bringing up a case or to disqualify him and jail him for killing, that is embarrass Nigeria to start with. Liam Mo traveled to America. last week. His job was to go to America and solicit for lobbyists. Lobbyists who are going to help them promote anti-OB and so many other negative things that they have spent money on propaganda for, promote them in America, get some level of pressure and sanction in a way that by the time they start killing the obedient, harassing them and arresting them, it will be justified. America will just look the other way and all that. Validation from America. They said that it was Geoffrey Onyema, the Foreign Affairs Minister of Nigeria, that was given that assignment. Hey, you have been with Bukwari to so many countries. You have been the Foreign Affairs Minister. You've met with so many ambassadors. This is your job now. Help us counter obedience and their international campaigns before they finish the entire country. Because with Tinubu, we are not going back and we need it. So all the space that they believe that they are covered in the last 10 months, we need to shrink those spaces. We need to feed our ready partners in America, in UK and everywhere, help them to help us feed those lies and in the system, make them official as a cover for us, because it's not said to have kind of offer. It's not announced the suspension of Geoffrey Onyema. It didn't. There was no fight. There was, that man now, that gentleman that is always like, doesn't talk. He doesn't, you know what I mean? Geoffrey. But they suspended him. Why? Why are you suspending Geoffrey? The obedience came out and said, now because he rejected to go to America to help them blackmail Peter Obi, that is why they said, then what are you doing with us? Go away. Well, I mean, it makes sense now. So you get, Maiyegun's propaganda is not true, but they suspended him. Do you know why they suspended him? Why did APC suspend Onyema? It's because of anti-party. Takula. The Peru alone, fear God. Onyema, the one we know anything. Sometimes you just be wondering which state did he come. I mean, which state did he come from? He's doing anti-party. Takula, Peru alone. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They've announced that he must be suspended, and they said no, he doesn't go America. So Layamo has been in America for a while, trying to planting their propaganda here and there. Unfortunately, it was America that Layamo, I think he's still in the US, yeah? Layamo, the lying old rogue, it was in America when when Chimamanda's bazooka hit them. They don't do the audio of it. Listen to it in part. Chimamanda Adichie. Last time when I tried to read a letter, I tried to. But I warned all of you before that there are some of these are English and words that I don't even know how to pronounce them, and I'll just try. She did pronounce them by herself here. Listen, the letter that got to Bokeyamo, Deli Alakori. What's the other one? For Food Kayode, as who else again? Bayo. No. This. Listen to this. Simply, Chimamanda. I don't accent here, budget. Accent here, go. American accent, Abi.
Elections rigged because elections are always rigged. The question was badly. Voting felt like an inconsequential as predetermined winners. A law passed. The 2020 electoral changed everything. Legal backing to the election, accreditation of votes, and transmission of results. Process determined independent national election. INEC. Chair of the commission, Mahmoud Yakub, assured Nigerians that votes would be counted in the presence of voters and recorded in a sheet, and that a photo sheet would immediately be uploaded to a secure server. When rumors circulated about the commission not keeping its word, Yakubu butted them. If results were uploaded right after voting was concluded, then the ruling Progressives Congress, APC, in power since 2015, would have no opportunity for action. Technology would redeem Nigeria's democracy. Results would no longer feature more voters. Nigerians would have their leaders chosen for them. Elections would finally capture the true voice of the people. And so trust and hope were born. By the evening of February 25th, 2023, trust had dissipated. Workers or without basic materials. There were reports of violence at a polling unit and of protecting or destroying ballot boxes. Some law enforcement seemed to have colluded in voter intimidation. In Lagos, a policeman stood idly by as an APC spokesperson threatened members of a particular ethnic group who would vote for the opposition. Most egregious of all, the Electoral Commission reneged on its assurance to Nigerians. Presidential results were not uploaded in real time. Voters, understandably anxious, reacted. Video stations, voters shouting that they would be uploaded right away. Many took cell phone photos of the results. Many polling units were able to upload the results of the House and Senate elections, but not the presidential election. A resident who voted in Lagos told me, "We refused to leave the poll until the INEC uploaded the presidential result." I kept getting a message. There was no net problem. Internet on my phone. My bank app was working. Senate and House results were easily. Couldn't the presidential be uploaded on the same system? Some electoral workers in polling units said they could not upload because they didn't have an excuse that voters understood to be such. By the end of the day, it had become obvious that something was terribly amiss. No one was surprised. By the morning of the 26th, social media became flooded with evidence of irregularity. Result sheets were now slowly loaded on the INEC portal and by the public. Voters cell phone photos with the uploaded photos, alterations, numbers crossed out and rewritten. Some originally in black ink had been rewritten in blue, some blunderingly whited tip. Been not only rigged, but done in such a shoddy, shabby manner that the intelligence of Americans. Nigerian democracy had long been a two-party structure, power alternated between the APC and the People's Democratic Party, until this year, when the Labour Party, led by Peter Obi, became a force. Obi was different. He was honest and accessible. The vision of anti-corruption and self-sufficiency gave rise to a movement of support who called themselves Giants. Large, enthusiastic crowds turned up for his race. The APC considered him an upstart who could not win, because his small party lacked traditional structures. It is ironic that many altered result sheets showed votes overwhelmingly transferred from the Labour Party to the APC. As vote counting began at INEC, representatives of different political parties, except for the APC, protested. The results being counted, they said, reflect what they had documented in polling units. Too many discrepancies. There is no point progressing in error, Mr. Chairman. We are racing to nowhere, one spokesperson said to Yakubu. Let us get it right before we move with the collation. But the chair, opaque face refused. The counting continued swiftly. At 4 p.m. on March 1st, the ruling party's candidate, Bola Tinubu, was announced as elect. Iranian silence reigned across the people celebrated. Many Nigerians spoke. Why, my young cousin, did it not do what it said it would do? It's perplexing that in the context of closely contested in a low-trust society, the Electoral Commission would ignore so many flags and announce a winner. It had the power to pause vote counting, to investigate irregularities, it would do in the governorship election weeks later. Rage is brewing, especially among young people. The tension in the air have not been palpable in years. How surprising the U.S. State Department congratulated Tinubu on March 1st. We understand that Nigerians and some of the parties have frustration about the way in which the process was conducted and the shortcomings of technical elements that were used for the first time in a presidential election cycle, the spokesperson said. And yet the process was described as a competitive election that represents a new period for Nigerian politics and democracy. American intelligence surely cannot be so inept. A little homework, and they would know what is manifestly obvious to me and so many others. The process was imperiled not by technical shortcomings, but by deliberate manipulation. An editorial in the Washington Post echoed the State Department in intent, if not in affect. In an oddly infantilizing tone, as though intended to mollify the minded, we are told that officials have asserted that technical glitches, not sabotage, were the issue, that much good came from Nigerian elections, which are worth celebrating because, among other things, no one has blocked highways, as happened in Brazil after Jair Bolsonaro lost his re-election bid. We are also told that it is encouraging first that candidates are pursuing their claims through the courts, though any casual observer in politics would know that courts are the usual recourse after any election. The editor has the poverty so characteristic of national coverage of African issues, no reading of mood, no nuance, but its intellectual is unusual in such a rigorous newspaper, punishing. Since when does a respected paper unequivocally ascribe to benign malfunction something that may very well be malignant, just because government officials say so? There is a kind of cordial condescension in both the State Department's and the Washington Post's responses to the election, that the bar for what is acceptable has been so lowered can only be read as contempt. I hope, President Biden, that you do not personally feel this cordial condescension. You have the importance of a global community for democracy and the need to stand up for justice and the rule of law. The global community for democracy cannot face the face of apathy from a powerful member. Why would the United States, which prioritizes the rule of law, endorse a president-elect who has emerged from an unlawful process? Compromised is a ubiquitous word in Nigeria's political landscape. It is used to mean bribed, but also corrupted more generally. They have been compromised, Nigerians will say, to explain so much that is wrong, from infrastructure failures to unpaid pensions. Many believe that the INEC chair has been compromised, but there is no evidence of the astronomical US dollar amounts he has received from the president. Extremely wealthy Tinubu is himself known to be an enthusiastic participant in the art of compromising. Some Nigerians call him a drug because in 1990 he forfeited to the United States government $160,000 that a Chicago court determined to be proceeds from heroin trafficking. Tinubu has strongly charges of corruption. I hope it will not surprise you, President Biden, if I argue that the American response to the Nigerian election bears the faint taint of compromised because it is so removed from the actual situation in Nigeria as to be disingenuous. Has the United States once again decided that what matters in Africa is not democracy, but stability? Perhaps you could tell British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, who quickly congratulated Tinubu, that an illegitimate government in a country full of frustrated young people does not portend stability. Or is it about that ever-effulgent nemesis, China, as so much of US foreign policy now invariably seems to be? The battle for influence in Africa will not be won by supporting the same undemocratic processes for which China is criticized. This Nigerian election was supposed to be different, and the US response must not be business as usual. The Nigerian youth, long politically quiescent, have awoken. About 70% of Nigerians are under 30, and many voted for the first time in this election. Nigerian politicians exhibit a stupefying ability to tell barefaced lies, so to participate in political life has long required a suspension of conscience. But young people have had enough. They want transparency and truth. They want basic necessities, minimal corruption, competent political leaders, and an environment that can foster their generation's potential. This election is also about the continent. Nigeria is a symbolic crucible of Africa's future, and a transparent election will rouse millions of other young Africans who are watching and who long too for the and not the hollow form of democracy.
Thank you. How many of you will believe that wasn't Chimamanda talking? It was an AI-generated voice. How many of you will believe that? I know some of you do know. Some people are already saying, no, it's AI-generated. Now, computer generated the voice. What they did, what they call the AI, what they did was that they will go and pick where Chimamanda was giving speech. They will pick and record that voice and then shoot it inside the AI. Now, you see this letter that she already wrote, that's in public, you also feed it into the AI. So the AI will be reading the letter with the voice that you feed to it.